All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into an absolute heavyweight matchup between two global giants, WNS and Wipro. If you're looking at finance and accounting outsourcing, well, we're going to cut right through the noise today to figure out exactly who can deliver real, measurable business outcomes as we march toward 2026.
Okay, real quick, here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The modern CFO mandate. 2. Meet the contenders. 3. A head-to-head strategy comparison. 4. Technology and automation. 5. Who should choose whom? And finally, 6. The final verdict. Let's get right into it.
So let's kick things off with a pretty bold question. I want you to ask yourself, are you outsourcing just to cut costs or to transform your entire business? Because let's be real, the days of simple labor arbitrage, just finding cheaper hands to process your transactions, those days are completely over. If you aren't actively transforming your operations right now, you're literally just falling behind your competitors.
Section 1, the modern CFO mandate, and the massive shift from transactional to strategic.
Think about how much this landscape has shifted. In the past, outsourcing was entirely about just reducing costs and processing transactions. Right now, in the present, we're all navigating digital transformation and real-time reporting. But looking ahead to 2026, the mandate completely flips. It is all about AI-driven decision-making and predictive outcomes. Today's successful partnerships prioritize things like compliance, cash flow optimization, and shared services transformation way above just sheer transaction volume.
Section 2, meet the contenders. This is where we hit a major fork in the road, specialized finance versus enterprise scale.
Fundamentally, these two organizations just have completely different philosophies. It's almost apples and oranges. On one side, WNS positions itself as an agentic AI-powered intelligent operations provider, meaning they are strictly focused on measurable finance outcomes and CFO advisory. On the other side, Wipro is a massive, global technology giant offering F&A as just one piece of a much broader IT, cloud, and enterprise transformation ecosystem.
Now, I want to pause on this term agentic AI because it is a massive differentiator for WNS. We aren't just talking about basic data analysis here. Think of it kind of like a self-driving car, but for your accounting. It's an advanced AI that actually automates decision-making, executes workflows autonomously, and manages exceptions with barely any manual intervention. It's pretty wild stuff.
Section 3, head-to-head strategy comparison. Let's see exactly where this battle is won. Putting them side by side like this really reveals that strategic divide. WNS essentially treats finance as its absolute core competency. They've got incredibly strong finance focus, extensive CFO advisory, and advanced agentic AI. Wipro, on the other hand, definitely has these services available, but they're generally still developing, or they're kind of bundled within wider, less finance-centric IT consulting packages.
And for WNS, they actually measure success by outcomes, not just activity metrics. We're talking tangible executive priorities here. Things like days sales outstanding reduction, working capital optimization, and real cost efficiency. They don't just process the numbers. They'll actually step in to design your entire finance operating model to optimize accounts receivable and cash applications so you get maximum liquidity.
Section 4, technology and automation. Purpose-built versus broad ecosystems.
So how do they actually do this? Well, WNS brings a whole suite of proprietary finance-specific platforms to the table. You've got Track 1F, which is their autonomous accounting platform, integrating AI directly into operations. Then there's CFO Track for budgeting and forecasting, and they literally have something called Financial Intelligence in a Box, which gives executives immediate dashboards and decision support. It's high-level finance intelligence embedded right into the daily workflow. So the contrast here is pretty stark. WNS relies heavily on that proprietary, specialized finance intellectual property. Wipro, however, flexes its massive scale through huge ERP platforms, deep cloud ecosystems, and enterprise digital engineering. Basically, Wipro is going to win out if you're doing a giant, company-wide IT overhaul, while WNS wins on highly specialized finance innovation.
Which brings us to a really pivotal question. I want you to just think about this for a second. Which partner is actually right for your organization? Take a look at your enterprise needs and your biggest bottlenecks for the upcoming year.
Section 5. Who should choose whom? It all comes down to aligning with your specific strategic goals.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ideal profile for each provider. It's actually pretty simple. Choose WNS if you need CFO-led strategic change, you want to adopt agentic AI, and you're looking for end-to-end working capital transformation. But actually, choose Wipro if you are undertaking massive IT integration, enterprise-wide cloud transformation, or heavy ERP modernization where finance is really just one piece of a much larger puzzle.
You can even see this philosophy in their industry footprints. WNS has this super deep expertise in banking, insurance, healthcare, and retail. They always lead with finance process knowledge. Wipro has incredibly broad exposure across financial services, energy, tech, manufacturing, and they almost always approach the engagement from a technology-first perspective.
Section 6, the final verdict, making the 2026 choice.
So if you're a modern CFO, here is your absolute bottom line. First, you have to look way beyond labor arbitrage and basic cost reduction. Honestly, those are just table stakes now. Second, meticulously assess the partner's AI and automation maturity. You want a setup that is AI native. Third, evaluate their specific capabilities in working capital optimization. And finally, demand real, measurable business outcomes, like cash flow enhancement over simple transaction volumes. Prioritizing true business impact is absolutely the key to your 2026 success.
Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought. WNS versus Wipro really just boils down to finance-focused transformation versus enterprise technology transformation. You need to choose the partner that perfectly aligns with your exact strategic roadmap. So, are you trying to overhaul your entire enterprise IT ecosystem, or are you trying to build a hyper-intelligent, predictive, outcome-driven finance department? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, here's to making the absolute smartest move for your financial future.